Welcome back.
Welcome back. So today we are going to make some donuts. We got this recipe from the Amish. My dad and I, back in the day, we went out to the nursery to get some plants. It was opening day and they had donuts. They were so amazing. We asked for the recipe and graciously they gave it to us. So we're going to share that recipe with you.
And about Christmas sprinkles.
Oh, yeah, and then we're going to add some Christmas sprinkles. But before we get started, here's a little joke for you. What's your joke?
Why did the light bulb go across the street?
Why did the light bulb go across the street?
Because he ate an orange peel.
Because he ate an orange peel. Ha 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 ha. Why did the donut go to the therapist? Because he felt empty inside. Ha 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 ha. All right, terrible, terrible. So without further ado, let's get cooking.
Let's get cooking!
To start, we're going to take 2 cups of milk and bring that to a boil. Here we're just wanting to scald the milk. By doing this, it makes the milk a better food for the yeast, which results in fluffier bread. While our milk is being brought to a boil, we're going to get our yeast going by taking 1 teaspoon of sugar and adding it to 1.5 cups of warm water. Mix that so that sugar dissolves. During this, our milk reaches a boil, so we're just going to take that off the heat and set that to the side. Then we're going to ensure that our water is between 110 degrees Fahrenheit and 120 or a little more. We're going to add 2 1/4 teaspoon of yeast and mix that on up. Then we're going to set that to the side and let that yeast do its thing for about 10 minutes.
For more. And then we make the maker dough.
While our milk is cooling and the yeast is doing its thing, we're going to start the dough. We're going to whisk 3 eggs and add those to the mixer. Add 1/2 cup of softened butter, aka 1 stick, 1/2 cup of sugar. Add our scalded milk, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 4 cups of flour. Then we're going to mix that on up in the mixer, stopping every now and then to scrape in the sides. Then once that's all mixed up halfway, we're going to add our yeast, which is now nice and fluffy. Then mix that on up and then scrape in another 3 cups of flour.
Scrape.
Once that dough comes together, but it's still rather sticky, we're going to take it out and dump it into a bowl and cover it with saran wrap. And let that rise in a warm spot until it's doubled in size, which will take about 1 hour. After that is risen and doubled in size, we're going to take it out and throw it on the floured surface.
What are you doing to it?
Make sure to coat this guy with flour all the way around so that it doesn't stick to the rolling pin or the work surface. Then we're going to roll this out until it's roughly 1/4 of an inch thick. Then we're going to start cutting out our donuts. We're going to use a drinking cup just because we don't have a circle cookie cutter. Then use a medicine cup to cut out the center. Feel free to use whatever you have. You don't actually need a cookie cutter to do this.
And then I can eat it.
Well, we're going to cook it.
And then we can eat it.
Yep.
And then we can put sprinkles on them.
Yep.
First.
For some of these, we're not going to cut out the center simply because the dough isn't great for having the center cut out. And the Amish didn't cut out the center in theirs. You want to keep making these donuts until you're all out of dough, so just bring it all together and roll it out again once you can't cut out any more donuts. Then we're going to transfer these to a cookie sheet and let them rise for about 45 minutes until they're risen just a little bit. While those are rising, one last time we're going to make our glaze that will go over them. We are going to start by adding 2 cups of powdered sugar, 1 tablespoon of vanilla, a tablespoon of corn syrup, and a tablespoon of warm water. Then we're going to mix that on up until it's nice and smooth and set that to the side. Remember, you can always find the recipes in the descriptions below.
Good morning, Marshmallow Poopy.
It is frying time now. We're going to bring our frying oil up to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. In this case, we are using peanut oil. We will start with the donut holes so that we have something to snack on while we cook the rest of the donuts. We're going to drop the dough in and let these guys cook until they're puffed up and are golden brown all the way around. Once these guys are done, we're going to place them on a wire rack on a cookie sheet so that the grease drips off and to ensure these guys stay crispy and don't get soggy. You can also place these on the plate with some paper towels so that it soaks up the grease if you want. Then we're going to make the actual donuts. Make sure to flip these about halfway through so that they get cooked on both sides. We're going to continue this process until all the donuts are fried up. Once we have all those fried up and cooled off a little bit, we are going to coat these with a glaze. Just going to sprinkle this on because we don't want these donuts to be super sweet. You can just dunk the donut halfway into the glaze if you want. Then for some of these, we're going to add sprinkles because what kid doesn't like sprinkles, right? All in all, these are not the greatest things to cook with a toddler just because they can't help with the frying part and the fact that it does take a long time to make, roughly 4 to 5 hours. However, per usual, she really enjoyed making the dough and decorating the donuts with sprinkles and loved eating them, obviously. All in all, I would give this recipe a 2 out of 5 for making with a toddler.
So here we go. We have our donuts.
So here we have our donuts. So we have the 3 different types. We have the donut holes, we have the donut rings, whatever you want to call them, and then just plain old, big old donuts. So without further ado, let's get taste testing.
Big old
Go ahead. I mean, those are absolutely delicious. I mean, just look at that. You can see the air pocket. It's nice, airy, fluffy, nice and crunchy on the outside with that nice softness on the inside. I mean, absolutely delicious.
I agree. It's very light. You can probably eat way too many of these because they're just so light and good.
Yeah, they're like baby aspirin. You can just keep popping them. And then just kind of show you what the inside of these look like. And then break it open, you can kind of see. So it's nice, airy, fluffy. I mean, nice little air pockets. Absolutely delicious. Which is what you want, right? Ellie, you want to tell them what you think?
The inside very good.
All right, well, with that being said, if you like this video, hit the like button down below. If you want to see more like it, hit the subscribe button, notification button, so you can be notified every time we make a new video. Until next time, we'll see you later.